This is Blocks to Flow, the space where learning, living, and leading return to alignment. Hosted by Kohila Sivas. Together we reconnect, restore, and rewire the missing link. Unlearn survival, relearn rhythm.
Coach Katelyn, thank you for coming in today. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Kohila. How are you?
Very good. I like to start our Blocks to Flow podcast with the grounding exercise, which is to breathe. Yes. And have you noticed that? I don't know if you have, but I have noticed that I started breathing through my mouth more than my nose. Yes, I'm so busy. I just take like this kind of breath. It's not good for us. So I wanted to take 3 breaths with you, and all of us, all of you who are listening to us, take it with us, but through your nose and out through your nose. And this is very consciously you have to do it, because sometimes we do tend to do it through our mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's do one through our nose. And the exhale is also through your nose, not through your mouth. Let's do another one. I want you to know the difference when you're doing through your nose and out through your nose. Again. And then out through your nose. Kayla, did you feel a difference?
Yeah, in yoga we call this ujjayi breath, which means ocean breath in Sanskrit. It is different, for sure.
But do you notice yourself breathing through your mouth? Not yet.
Not really, no.
Okay, but you're a yoga teacher. Maybe you have more awareness than most of us do, right? Like, I'm not a yoga teacher myself. So I've been doing it through my mouth, and I'm retraining it. It's pretty interesting to notice what you're doing that's so natural and automatic, right?
Yeah, or when just my breath shortens, I definitely notice that now. And I notice that's usually associated with my heart rate increasing, usually associated with some sort of stress. So like noticing those things so that I can bring myself back to center. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. So I have a question for you. When you think about the phrase blocks to flow, moment in your life comes to mind first?
Thinking about when I was blocked, right?
Yes. What moment in your life comes to first? Where?
So honestly, I think it was like a whole era. It was a really big phase of my life. I would say years probably 3 through 10 or 11 of teaching. Because when I was first teaching, I was still moving incredibly fast, but I was so inspired. I was definitely more in a flow state. I heard Ruth describing earlier, sometimes it can be a faster or rapid flow, and maybe that was where I was at then. But when I think about being blocked, it was years 3 through 10 of teaching.
How old? What age you're talking about?
So probably age 24, 25, to age 30, 31. Yeah, it was significant. It was a long period of time for me. And for me, the block was control, I think, was primary. Perfectionism was definitely in there, but control in that I felt that I needed to be in control of everything in order to feel safe. And then I also, and this is tied in with the perfectionism, had that hustle to prove my worth mentality. And the real block underneath that was not enough. I'm not good enough just as I am. And I have to prove it. I have to achieve it. I have to do something to show that I'm worthy of even being here, you know? And it took a really long time to dig that up and unroot that block and really look at it.
So at that point, when you were 24 moving forward, you were just living a block that you created. It didn't start then. It has a root. It has a root somewhere else. So let's go further back. Where do you think that control started?
I think it began at home. You know, I'm really blessed with a beautiful relationship with my father, but he left my home when I was 6, and my first real formed memory was him walking out the door, and it was very traumatic, very dramatic as well. I was like literally physically gripping onto him to try to get him to stay. And I couldn't, you know, and moving forward from there, my mom was a single mom with 3 kids, and I didn't trust her decision making. I didn't feel very safe. I didn't feel aligned with her, and she was my primary caretaker. And because I had no control, I felt so out of alignment, unsafe, constantly anxious. And then transferring that into my adult life, I still felt that way, but I felt like, okay, if I can take control of things, then I'll be safe. And that just went out into all areas of my life.
Yes. It's so important to go to that root and begin there. Because if you begin when you're 24, like many people do, right? Because personal development usually starts around that age or a little later, right? We then start blaming as if we created, but there was a significant event in your life that you felt like the most person that you can trust and control, had control, left you. Yeah. So then you were with the person that you didn't trust. And then that gave you ownership that I need to be in control of this, or otherwise I'm not safe. It's a big responsibility for a little person.
Yeah, sure.
But that block kept you safe in your own way, but then it became a hostage by the age of 24.
Oh yeah, very, very much. Yeah.
So what were some of the feelings I want people to connect with you who are listening to us, because a lot of the times feelings are not shared, right? It's supposed to be held inside of you. It's only like your private thing, you deal with it. I'm kind of bringing the feelings out into the world. Like, let's talk about it, but not just talk about it, but talk about it in a way that how we feel it, really.
Yeah.
So what were the feelings when you were in that control, like massive control over everything, 24, moving forward? What are some of the things you lived with on a daily basis?
Anxiety, massive amounts of anxiety. I would wake up every morning and already be in a panic, really. I made to-do lists that were so long that they would be impossible for me to finish. And then I would shame myself when I didn't finish them. My boundaries were very poor. I was very, very overly invested and in attempting to control in a really inappropriate way other people's outcomes. My students, my athletes. I kept my cheer team at the school practicing until 8 or 9 at night because things weren't perfect and I wanted them to be perfect. When kids weren't improving at the rate that I wanted them to, I would lose my mind. Like I would be shaming myself, feeling like it was my fault. What have I done wrong? How did I lose them? How could I do better? And I just lived with so much heaviness, so much guilt, so much shame. And then on the flip side of it, this anxiety that would drive me to go, move, do more. And it was never enough. Yeah. So, I mean, I was living in a sense of panic and truly also during that time. And I don't shame myself for this now, but I did back then too. I had so much trouble turning my mind off. I was having trouble sleeping. My health was suffering for it. I began doing unhealthy things like drinking wine at night to try to turn my brain off. And then, almost like depending on that to get to sleep and then starting everything over in the morning. And it's just panic, run. And no matter what I did, it was never enough. It was never enough for me. It was the results I thought I wanted in this control-based world I was making up never came.
And that's a resonance, right? If you create that chaos for yourself and you exhibit, that's the energy you're sharing with others. So then they're going to perform based on that energy as well. So you never actually win in that, right? We never win because we share the same. They come into us in the same energy level. And then we're kind of doing that spiral, right? Spiraling.
Yeah. It was chaos inside. And so it was chaos outside.
Right. Yeah. So what was your turning point? When did you go from that chaotic survival mode into starting to feel peace? When does that happen? When did it happen?
I had a couple of realization turning points, but I would say, and the pandemic was definitely a big one, because it was really difficult for me waking up in the morning and being like, oh my God, no one needs me. What do I do? Why am I even getting up? What is my life even worth? And so those were kind of scary moments for me. And then yoga really was the biggest turning point for me, because I also don't think that I would have, or I know I would not have found this program and aligned with this program with Blocks to Flow if I had not changed internally to be able to be in alignment with that. So yoga was huge for me. A friend brought me to a class when I was just in a really chaotic place, and coming out of Savasana at the end, which is the final resting pose for a yoga class, my mind was clear for the first time that I could remember. And my body felt calm instead of this constant like buzzing and panic, because the panic is experienced not just in your mind, it's in your whole body. Yeah. So it was the first time that I really felt that very clear nervous system, body, mind, calm. And I was like, oh my God, this is possible. And then I continued moving towards it from there.
And how did the Blocks to Flow training come into play after the yoga?
So I had been teaching meditation and yoga for almost 3 years when I found Blocks to Flow, because I also switched my position at the school. I went from teaching math to becoming a PE and health teacher to start a mindfulness curriculum at my school, which was like so amazing. But working in a school building still, even with like, I have done a lot of internal work, and also my external space was reflecting that. The structure of a school building is still survival based. The way that we've set everything up is still survival based. And so I was really feeling a strong like misalignment with that. I am an extremely creative being. We all are. And that's the other thing, is for years I would have said like, no, I'm a math teacher. I'm not creative. I'm so creative. I create all the time. And now I just like embrace it and I understand that. But when I'm in a creative flow, it's really challenging to be working with a school system that is go, 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 do, do, do. Here's the bell. Now do this. Here's the next bell. Now do this. And it was such a misalignment. And I also, honestly, I teach high school. I think especially in secondary education, we need to do something different. This is not working. We're losing our kids. They're disconnected. They're just shutting down on mass levels. And so observing that, feeling very helpless within the system that's just reinforcing that within them, I read your book. And I read your book and I was like, oh my God, I like cried so many chapters because I felt very seen, because there were so many just sections that described like, yes, that is what a teacher's day looks like. And yes, that is unreasonable for teachers and for students. And then seeing like that there's someone else on the same page and a whole movement of people. We need to change. Education needs to change. Our kids deserve better. We deserve better. And we need to understand that our lives are not built on achievement. Also, the longer I've been in education, and I'm sorry, this is a very long answer. Also, the longer I've been in education, I'm realizing more and more that academic achievement is not a determinant of life success in any way. It really, like, there's not even like a correlation anymore. I have excellent students who will go on to college, drop out after their first year because they're depressed. They feel disconnected. They don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it. They don't feel a sense of purpose. Like it's not about academic achievement.
You know why that is? Because they were not in flow when they were achieving. They were forced.
Mm-hmm. They were probably trying to prove their worth like I was the whole time, like running like a hamster on a wheel. Like, please see I'm good enough. Please see I'm good enough.
So when you run like that on a hamster wheel, it's exhausting. How long could you run? It's forced. But if you do it in flow, you can do it with so much enjoyment. Because without enjoyment, you can't do nothing for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like reading something to do. I'll do it until I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I shut down. And that's what's happening to our youth, young adults right now. Many of them are shutting down because of this performance-based, forced learning environments. Yeah, we have to change. We need to bring flow into their life. So tell me more. I was enjoying your answers. Keep going. So then you came into this program because?
Because I want change, and I want to be a part of that change. I want to be a part of that movement. I think in education, in some ways, we've realized, okay, this was set up to, sort kids, essentially categorize kids into different career paths. It was initially set up for the manufacturing industry to create workers. So there's a huge focus on compliance. There's a huge focus on rote memorization and repetition. And repetition is a part of learning, yes, but passion and curiosity and all of those things were just so lost.
Creativity.
Creativity.
Yes.
Yes. Imagination and like excitement and joy. And I know as well, and I learned this in the pandemic, that sitting for 7.5 hours, and really I was sitting for more like 14 hours, let's be real, because your day doesn't end when the day ends. My body wasn't built for that. My mind wasn't built for that. I was getting back pain. I was getting headaches. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how people live like this. And then it hit me. We're forcing our kids to live like this, actually. Like I am moving around in what I'm doing in my classroom, but we're asking kids to sit down for 7.5 hours a day, pay attention, be on the computer. We very much control their interactions even. And then we wonder why they're not expressing, why they're not showing us their full selves. And we're like, what's going on? Let's create another think, pair, share. It's not, we need to break the whole system. It needs to be completely remade. And I think that this program is really thinking about that and thinking about that from the roots expanding outwards. And that's what really, really excited me.
Absolutely. And the kids want to learn. These kids, sometimes all these labels are being placed as behaviors come, right? You're not listening or you're that or this. They're dysregulated.
Yeah.
Right? They're not there. They're not in flow. They're forced to sit and listen. Anyone forced to sit and listen are going to show behaviors.
Absolutely. Myself included.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, when I was like that, I just wandered away from school. Like I just escaped the school building in my daydreams, and I was just daydreaming in my class most of the time.
Yeah.
Some of us daydream, some of us actually have actual behaviors that actually disturbs the classroom. Now we have a disturbed classroom. The teacher has to focus on that versus doing any sort of learning. Learning doesn't happen, right?
Yeah. But even learning in the, most perfect classroom right now, the way it's set up is not really inspiring. And when we're not encouraging kids to find themselves, to find their flow, to love themselves. I mean, my big definition around flow is to love yourself. Because when you love yourself truly, then you're able to flow from there. And in order to do that, we need to clear all of these blocks and go deep and go back, like you were talking about. Where did this come from? And how do I make sure I understand now that that's not the truth? That my worth is inherent. It doesn't need to be proven. It doesn't need to be achieved. It's not a goal or like a checkbox that I need to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. So where did you feel the alignment happen in your body when it started happening for you? The flow started coming into your life. What was it?
Alignment in my body was very much a sense of calm, peace, centeredness, and things slowing down. It's hard to explain, but I could literally feel it in my cells. Instead of them moving so fast, it was, they started to slow. And I noticed as I moved forward with my practices, my yoga practice, gratitude, which I definitely love to talk about, that it became easier and easier for me to find that place. And going back to breathing, my breathing was slower. I could find my heartbeat and, sit into it. Everything calmed down.
Absolutely. Also, with yoga and with our program, we're so aware of all of these blocks, right? The minute you become aware of those blocks, awareness is everything. Everything.
It is. You have to see it. You have to be able to shine a light on it. You have to be able to name it in order to really move through it and to identify. I mean, that sense of anxiety that I used to experience every single day, all day long, will sometimes come back, but I can see it. I say, I know what this is. And then I pull myself back and recenter and then move forward.
What was the hardest part to unlearn?
The not enough. And I mean, honestly, that is in itself a lifelong process. I think I can't sit here and say oh, I'm totally, well, I almost said the word fixed. That's not it. So it's the not enough and really seeing and recognizing when I'm moving in a way that's like proof and being able to pause myself and pull back and say, hold on.
So a good question for anyone who's also feeling that way, I felt it too, is to ask, what is enough? What does enough look like?
Being alive. My heart is beating. My belly's breathing. I'm alive. That's enough.
And that's worthy.
Yeah, it's beautiful in itself. And just really recognizing that another shift for me, mindset wise, was just realizing that my energy, my life force, that is the biggest thing that I have to offer the world, that I have to offer myself. So that has to come first. Always. It has to come before anything else. And so finding for me, and I think that this looks different for everybody, what cultivates that for me, what centers me in me. And those things have to come first. Otherwise, there's nothing more I can do.
What was it before all of this awareness and alignment and activation came into your life? What was it before? What was that? What was the bar you set that was going to be enough? Do you remember?
Perfection.
Where were you headed?
I can't say that it was like a goal, like, oh, when I become this will be the thing. But I just felt that I had to do everything perfectly. If I did anything slightly wrong, I just poured shame on myself, guilt, frustration. You knew better what's wrong with you, all of these types of things, instead of seeing what I could learn. So I didn't actually learn as much as I could from my mistakes because I was shaming myself. Yeah. But
has that stopped the shaming?
Yes, I can say that. And if
what has it shifted to from shaming to what is it now?
Reminding myself that I'm a human and loving myself. Sometimes I have to step back and ask, like, if this was my child who did this or my best friend who did this, what would my reaction be? And it would be love, of course. So why is it not for myself? And so when I catch myself shaming myself over something, I stop and I'll swap my position with someone that I love and then say, how would I treat them? And then I turn around and give the same to myself.
Yeah. So you're teaching yourself to love yourself, finally, to give yourself some break from not controlling, right?
Yeah, when you try to squeeze everything so tight. And it's funny because I run professional development very frequently for other teachers on things like classroom management. And I have always, even when I was in the place of way too much control myself, so it's a little ironic, I use the example of, managing your classroom, and in ways managing your life is like holding a whole bunch of Jell-O in your hands, and like way too much Jell-O, and it's like moving around, and you gotta like, oh, okay, I gotta adjust. A big misstep that many of us fall into is we're like, well, I want the Jell-O, so let me hold it. And when you squeeze it, you lose it. It's all over the place. Now it's gone. Instead of moving with it, and allowing it to move, allowing it to not look perfect, but to be there, be present with it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that analogy. So it's because Jell-O is also bouncing too, right?
Oh yeah, always move it, just like our kids.
Yes, beautiful. So you came into the program, Blocks to Flow. Now you were called to lead that for others. Why was it a calling for you?
Well, first, it was just pure alignment. I remember being on a Zoom call with you and being like, I can't believe I'm about to do this. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have I don't know what, and you just looked at me and you're like, it's aligned. And I was like, yeah, it is. I don't feel scared. I don't feel I just know that this is right. And that also came from building trust in myself as well, to know that when I'm intuitively drawn to something, there's a reason for that and I should listen. But I felt called to lead others in this direction because I felt like it was like a big, bright aha moments with Blocks to Flow, because my yoga practice previously felt very separate from my school-based work and my belief in education. And I want to work in education. Education just really needs to change. And I felt like finally those things were coming together they were finally merged. And it was offering me a path and a way to say, okay, I can stay in education. I don't need to leave it completely. And this is a way that we can work together to support our students to find flow, to find their creativity, to find themselves again, to stay connected with themselves. And then, because truly the world, and I went on a nature retreat last weekend, and this like really cemented for me because we were out in like the wilds, like, no human had touched it type of space. And you see the beautiful diversity of everything around you and how everything's meant to look different. Everybody's meant to bring something different to this space. And humans are the same way. So if we just develop our kids in a way and like guide them rather than forcing them, but offer them support, offer them, cultivate the soil that they're growing in, so that they can grow to share who they're meant to be and their unique gifts. I mean, this world is going to be incredible if we stop just forcing people into boxes and just let them shine as who they are. I mean, the potential to change the world with that is endless.
Yeah, it's tapped energy. We're controlling the energy of these beings, the souls of these people into boxes. But if we just allow it, we have so much potential energy that could be turned into kinetic energy and movement and force and innovation, right? Innovation can be amazing. And that's why we have to bring back, you mentioned 2 words earlier, creativity, curiosity, that's to be led through those and being present in your body and in the moment, right? Because we're always living in the past, we're always living into the future, right? But here and now is so important. So I'm excited. So you came into the program. Now you're leading other people through this program to find their blocks. Mm-hmm. And that is why. Why do you feel that calling?
I think because it was so transformative for me when I went through it, and when I was able to find my blocks and release them, I was just able to express on entirely new levels. And I know that every single human has that same potential. And it also just like, it hurts me. It makes me sad to look when I see people who were so bright, so beautiful, but blocked. And I just think it's incredible to be able to set myself free and then do the work of helping others free themselves. Because when we're all free, then we're in the space we were just talking about. Limitless potential.
Yeah. So we're blocked and boxed.
Yeah. Yeah. Sad.
So sad. So if people are listening to us, what's the evidence that I'm blocked and boxed? Because awareness sometimes doesn't come because we're also denial, right? We also denial when we're blocked. We're very good at that, right? So what does it look like? Let's go through some of the feelings they would feel when they're blocked. Because you had several different blocks as we were moving through that, right?
Definitely. I think disconnection from our bodies is a big one. When you notice patterns of harming your body in whatever ways, that can be, overeating, lack of movement, substance abuse, things like that. Like when you're willing to harm your body on a regular basis, you're very likely disconnected from your body. And if you're disconnected from your body, it's much more difficult to actually be present. So I would say looking for patterns of disconnection from your body, because that's disconnection from yourself. When you check in with your thoughts, are they here and now? Are they in the future? Or are they in the past? And then how often are you centering in your breathing and in your heartbeat, in those natural rhythms that we already have within us? I also have noticed, and I talk to my students a lot about this in terms of communication, but I think it also speaks to presence. How often are you talking with someone and instead of actually listening and holding space for whatever it is they're saying, you're already planning your answer in your head, or you're already like, well, this is what I think. And you're just waiting for them to finish so that you can say what you think, because then you're not there. So
yes. Catching yourself drifting to find the answer, because performance based, right? Yeah. I got to come up with something. So I'm already performing.
Yeah.
We're trained. We're wired. You got to train. Yeah. So how does alignment feel in your body now compared to when you were in that survival controlled chaotic place? How does it feel now? You said centered, right?
Centered, calm, I can relax into myself.
Beautiful.
A big shift for me has been that my concept of time has changed significantly. It used to be, I was always hurrying. Like 5 minutes, that's not enough time. It's not enough time. Now, when I have 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, I have 5 minutes. That's great. That's enough time. I can look out the window. I can spend a moment with my dog. I can breathe. There's so many things I can do with 5 minutes. Or I can,
that right there. That right there is sort of, because you were so caught up in that controlling, you thought, you didn't think 5 minutes was a lot. Like you said to yourself, like, oh, what's nothing? 5 minutes is nothing. But now
it was never enough. Nothing was ever enough.
Even the time wasn't, the perception of that. Oh, wow, beautiful. Love it. Even 2 minutes, it's long.
If you allow it to be, it's the same 2 minutes, but it's how we experience it.
Yeah. You can panic and experience it in a different way, and be in flow and experience it in a
completely different
way. Yeah, absolutely. So what daily rhythms or rituals help you stay in flow?
Gratitude. Gratitude is a big one.
Is it just saying thank you? Is gratitude just saying thank you?
It can absolutely be that simple. Yeah.
What else do you do?
I woke up this morning, thank you. I'm here. I'm so grateful to be here. Gratitude and gratitude for myself as well, like really acknowledging myself for, not the things that I do, but just for being me and loving myself. My daily practices have shifted so much, and like so much of my daily schedule still looks the same. I still work in a school building. I still work, 14-hour days, but the way I experience those days is completely different. And my priority every day when I wake up, I don't wake up for school. I wake up for my life. I wake up to be happy. I wake up to experience joy. I wake up to smile. I wake up to, look at the sunshine. Like that's why I wake up. And then, yes, I go to school and do these things, and I enjoy my time there, because I'm able to. So some of the daily practices for me are definitely gratitude, staying in the present moment, and bringing myself back into the present moment when I find myself like overthinking or moving too fast. And then making sure that there are very clear times in my day that are for me and about me. So movement is really important for me. I've been an athlete my whole life. Like, movement has always been a big part of my life, but I used to go for a run or go to the gym or do the things because I was like, I have to be better. I have to be faster. I have to be stronger. It was force. And now it's because I love it. I love moving to music. So I wake up and I'll go to a yoga class and play the music that I love and move my body. Or if I don't do that, maybe I'll get up and go for a walk and listen to my favorite playlist. I make sure that my days start for me. I'm doing things for myself, the things that cultivate my energy, that make me feel good. Those are the things that come first, always.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Yes. Thank you is a powerful word. Thank you. Saying thank you 3 times is a powerful word. And also saying love you. I love you to yourself is powerful, because we don't say it, right? We don't say it enough, especially when we have blocks that we have gone through, like yourself or mine. In order for me to say I love you is a huge thing. It's a huge win.
Yeah. And in the mirror too. I know, mirror work is challenging for some people, but in the mirror helps.
Because you have to feel it, you have to say it and mean it, because then you can see your face. If you don't do it, you can catch yourself. So if your younger self could witness you now, what do you think they'd notice first?
The slowness, the calm.
Katelyn, who's with the flow, with the time.
Yeah, definitely. The moving much slower. The younger me would have been like, what are you doing? You need to go. Like, why would you waste time? I had so much trouble sometimes when I was younger with some of my older coworkers, because they would just sit and like, drink a coffee and talk to each other. And I'd be like, what are you doing? We could be doing things, and it's like, I must have been a lot. So now I move much slower. I also allow myself time to process things. Like when I get an email or when something comes to me that I feel reactive or it starts to speed me up, I stop and I create space between myself and that thing. I might write out my thoughts, but I don't send the email. I do not respond right away. I step back.
So you're not reactive anymore?
No.
It's happening on your time. That's beautiful, because that's where we get the panic attack and the anxiety through, right?
Yeah. And that heaviness too, every time that we are in that reactiveness, I tell my students all the time, one of the things we need to remember is that when we go through something, our body goes through it too. Our whole selves go through it. And we like compartmentalize ourselves in these interesting ways that we've been, socialized to do, where we're like, okay, well, if mentally I'm over it, then it's over. But no, your whole being went through that. And so, yeah,
even though your bone might not be, but cognitively you're okay, but your cells are remembering it.
Your cells remember. And that's very heavy. That's why especially like if you go without releasing it and you're just carrying around all of this tension, all of this stress, all of this reactivity and shame and guilt and overthinking. Oh my God, it's so much. And that's why we end up in places like panic attacks, things like that, because it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. It has to go somewhere. So releasing activities, I would say, is another thing. Like for me, movement is definitely one of those, like letting things out, releasing tension from your muscles, even waking up in the morning to just stretch your body, like reach your arms up and over, like get some tension out intentionally. And I think
that's a buildup of potential energy. Potential energy need movement to become kinetic and release. Yeah. Internal release is required, right? It's important. Before we blow up with anger or whatever, however you explode. Mm-hmm. So if our listeners could take one simple action today to step closer to awareness and alignment, what would it be?
Wake up for you. Get up in the morning and say, oh my God, I'm alive.
That's what I know that though. I am waking up for me. Like I woke up this morning. How do I know I'm waking up for me? What's the difference? Like everybody wakes up unless we don't know. That would be the end of the day, end of our life, right?
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, I think
what is the feeling when you say that? I want to know because I know you're feeling it, but we want to feel it too.
Gratitude, warmth, just the waking up. Like sometimes, and it can be different each day. Sometimes for me, it's I look and I see the sun just coming through a little bit through a window, and I'm like, Or I look over and I see my husband snoring. I'm like, I love him. Or it's my dog, just something that brings that warmth of like, yes, life. I'm here for me, because when I was in that survival cycle, I would wake up and immediately be like, okay, what do I need to get done? And start moving right away, jumping into, the world and chaos and all these things, and staying within myself for a moment. Keeping your phone away for the first 30 minutes. You don't need it. Nobody needs you at 6 a.m. That time is for you, and really taking it for you.
Yeah, that's a ritual everyone can set up is that first, even 5 minutes, it doesn't even have to be 30 minutes. Some people find 30 minutes, whatever works for you, right? That we're not the, one fits all system, right? I would say whatever works for you. Like I get up at 3 a.m. every morning and people think I'm crazy. I'm like, I'm not crazy. It's just the way that my body works. And then I go to sometimes sleep at 8 a.m. I might have a nap and I might have another nap at 2 p.m. And I designed my life like that so I could take those naps, right? But I'm not crazy. But that might not work for somebody else. You don't need to get up at 3 a.m. You get up at 7 a.m. And that first 5 minutes, you say it's for me. I'm just going to breathe. I'm just going to get up. I'm just going to do something with myself.
And I think a good way of summarizing that too is setting some simple boundaries that create space for you. Yeah. Something as simple as choosing actively, I am not going to pick up my phone for however many minutes you set. That's a boundary. And then when you set that boundary and create that space for yourself, when you create space, all kinds of beautiful things can come to you, but they won't if you don't create the space, if you don't set the boundary. Because my sleep schedule completely different than yours, but my sleep is very important to me. So that's a big boundary I set. I'm like, no. My bedtime is 9:30 and that's it. And then I'm up at 5, but if there's something going on, like, yes, I'll go to the dinner and I'll whatever, but I'm leaving because I'm protecting like the time that's mine, because that's really important to me.
Absolutely. It's very, very important. So if you're listening, that's one thing to center yourself is the minute you wake up, set some boundaries so you can give 2 minutes, even a minute, because whatever works for you. Don't think like it has to be 30 minutes because sometimes 30 minutes becomes like a sentencing. You don't want to ever feel like you're sentenced to do this, right? That's why when people that out there who are like gurus or experts, they say you have to do it for 30 minutes. Like my rebellious mind goes, no, I don't. You know, I've always been a rebellious.
You don't know me. Yeah.
Humans, you don't know me. No. I don't need 30 minutes. I can't set 30 minutes because I got to do this. I got to do that. So whatever works for you. But 1 minute, even a half a minute, just feel yourself is amazing. Amazing way to start. Yes. How can people connect with you, Katelyn? Because you're now a coach. You offer programs for parents, students of all ages and adults. So how can they connect with you?
Yes. For coaching conversations via email is best. So KatelynMarieNotice@gmail.com. And then please connect with me on all the socials. I have Instagram, Skerry, my maiden name, LinkedIn and Facebook, Katelyn Marie Skerry. And I will be launching a website very soon under Whole Expansion Coaching. So
absolutely. And I will have all her information down below, our show notes as well, so you can connect with her. Last question, few more questions. Finish the sentence for me, Katelyn. Flow is?
Loving yourself.
Love it. So one word that describes when you're in flow, full flow. What is the one word that describes?
Creation.
Creation. Flow allows new creation. Beautiful. One practice that instantly helps you return to alignment and into flow.
Breathing.
So the breathing that I started today, that's beautiful. That helped.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And then holding too, right? Breathe, hold, and release is also powerful, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I like box breathing. Really, just getting in touch. Like sometimes I just put my hand on my heart, you know, because I could be like in conversation with somebody or something else is happening. It might be weird for me to be like, you know, so I'll just put my hand on my heart and just like, okay, my heart is beating. Everything's fine. So if my heart is beating, I'm alive. That means that anything is possible.
And one truth you wish everyone knew about learning, living, and leading in flow. One truth that everybody you wish knew.
That it's the truth of who you are and that we all have it. We all do. And that's why I love the blocks to flow concept is there's nothing wrong with you and you're not missing anything. I don't need to give you anything. You already have everything that you need. We're just blocked. And these blocks have built for a variety of reasons. They've been taught to us. It's not our fault. But when you release the blocks, it's already there. Everybody already has it. A tree already has, a seed already has everything that it needs. And so do we.
And that's the thing with personal development that I wanted to change into human development, because the soul print that we were brought into this world has everything. It's potentially everything. That's what the potential, right, of any person is already there. But we're not fully able to express it because we're blocked or we're boxed. It could be society. It could be myself. I boxed myself too, right? I blocked myself for many years by my own stories. It doesn't even have to be someone else. So at some point, we have to do something about it. So that's where awareness is number one. Number two, alignment. Number three, you have to start activating your systems, the inner systems that you ignored. And then that's how you can start into acceleration. And then achievement is possible for anyone and everyone. And it's your birthright.
It sure is. It is our birthright. We are all worthy. All of us. You're already enough and you already have everything you need.
Yeah, and you should claim it.
Yes.
Yours to be claimed. So only thing that's stopping you, as you said, is your blocks. So Katelyn is a beautiful coach who can help you with that. I'm going to leave her information below this video. When you're watching this or listening to this, contact her on those wherever you want to contact her with. And Katelyn, anything else you want to add before we end?
This world is going to be just an endlessly beautiful place when we all start to flow.
Yes. And that's our goal, right? To reach 1.5 million families and students and adults and young adults. I'm so excited to help young adults, right? The whole world. Yeah. The young adults are so close to dear to me. I don't know, because my son just turned 18. I don't know. He's leaving home. I don't know why, but I see other sons and daughters as well who's really struggling with a lot of blocks. And because of the pandemic, we were isolated too, right? So bringing them back, reintroducing them into the world, and that really put a lot of new blocks into our society too, right? That separation. So we need to reintroduce everyone back and just get them into flow. So thank you so much for the work you're going to be doing. And I'm so excited for you that you finally found you and your love for yourself.
Thank you so much. And thank you for your leadership and your mentorship and for this movement. I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Blocks to Flow, where learning, living, and leading return to alignment. Keep reconnecting. Keep restoring. Keep rewiring your way back to rhythm. Discover more at holisticsuccesscodes.com and join the movement reshaping how we learn, live, and lead. Until next time, flow forward.